Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received, and the translation, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? I really do not know what I was looking for. Maybe I was just looking for God, healing, or just attention. This was after my husband had passed away, and my husband passed away in a very painful way. And I ended up joining a cult, like not a cult whereby I ended up becoming rich, but they took my money, not all of it. That was the lucky part that happened. When I went to Nigeria, I only was using one bank account which had some of my savings. Then the other bank account, I just deleted the apps and everything, and then I went there with only one account, and I was going to inform my daughter if I was going to be in need of more money. I just imagine if I had carried the other account, what would have happened. I found something worse in Nigeria. Demons, they are for real, and indeed they walk amongst us. They are demons that were not sent by God, but those that were sent to rob the people of God. You can call me Poleng. I am a woman and I am staying here in Johannesburg. I am a South African woman. So I was really desperate at that time. Everything in my life was falling apart. The man that I had gotten married to, he had left me. He was dead. I tried to replace him, and that may be the mistake that I made. I moved on too quickly because I could not even exist anymore alone. I was afraid of committing suicide. And there was another guy whom I thought understood my situation. He came, he swept me off from my feet. Within a very short period of time, I was married again, and then my marriage was broken. And he was saying that it was because I was unable to give him a child. I was still a woman that was grieving her late husband, but God also on his side had closed my womb. My womb was closed. In my dreams, I used to see snakes. There was this other auntie of mine who never liked my father and never liked me because of a fight that happened a very long time ago. And I thought that she was the one that was punishing me, because whenever I would be seeing her in my dreams, she would bring with her snakes, black mambas, pythons, cobras that will be chasing me. I had tried everything, every local church, from the time that my husband got so sick. My husband, he grew up in the ZCC church. We tried there, even though I was a Pentecostal woman, even went to that church. And then we tried Shembe, even TB Joshua's church. We tried everything. Nothing had worked. When my husband was still alive, we had gone to Nigeria to that TB Joshua's church, but we did not receive any miracle. So we returned back home, and then my husband had passed away, but I had seen other people that were being healed there. Not just that, we did not get that miracle that we wanted. One day after I was struggling in my marriage, whilst I was scrolling on TikTok, I saw a powerful clip of this other man, a Nigeria upcoming pastor. I won't say his name because I think it might be dangerous, but in the video, he was shouting, "Come out of you, spirit of delay. Come out of you." And I saw that there were women falling, screaming, some were foaming. Then suddenly one woman dropped her crutch and then started to walk. The crowd screamed, and I said, I need to return back to Nigeria. That night I followed his page, his bio was like, "Come to Nigeria, your miracle awaits you." I did not even think twice. I already had money, and I had gone to Nigeria with my husband and my husband's relatives when we went for him to receive his miracle. And when I went there at that time, my husband was already gone. He was staying alone, even though I knew that there were high possibilities of him staying with another woman. He told me that I was obsessed with church. Maybe I was, but I needed to believe that somewhere in the world God still cared about women like me. We touched down in Nigeria. The first red flag, like the last time that I had gone to Nigeria, things were okay, everything was organized, but when I arrived the second time, like everything was in disorder. The guy that had been sent to me to pick me up at the airport, he came half drunk. He tried to act as if he was not drunk, but I saw that the man was really drunk. And then he did not even look at me. He was just like, "Welcome, sister, the prophet is waiting for you." But I chose to ignore it. I thought that maybe it was the devil that was trying to discourage me. We arrived at the place which they were calling the Holy Mountain. When we got to that Holy Mountain, it was just a beautiful house, and I saw that there were a lot of women that were there, as well as men that had came from across Nigeria, Western Africa, some even in America. They were staying at that house, a very beautiful one, but some of them would be sleeping outside depending from where you came from. Like the local Nigerians, they were the ones that would sleep outside, and as for us foreigners from different parts of the world, we would sleep indoors in the beautiful mansion. The food was okay, but then I started to notice that the way that the money was being collected, it was just too much. In the morning, money; an hour later, money; this and this money, and we were told to deposit the money, sometimes go and withdraw. So we would be taken on a minibus, taken to town, and then we all had to use our Visa cards, and then we would withdraw money from different ATMs and return with the money, give it to the church. This was the seed. God wanted to see if we were faithful enough, and he could grant us whatever that our hearts desired. Within a very short period of time, I started to notice that there were things that were happening that was not normal. There was this other woman who was also with the pastor, came to me and said, "You woman, are you from South Africa?" And I said, "Yes." And then I was told what I wanted to hear. I was told that my womb had been closed by the enemy, and I already had my own enemy, my auntie that I had left back in South Africa. I was told that I was going to conceive. When I returned back to my country, I was supposed to sleep with my own husband. That was when the pastor did something that was unthinkable. He looked at me, and then he came to the place where I was, and he kneeled in front of me. This prophet told me to unzip his trousers and to pull out his manhood. So I did. When you have become part of a cult, you do not think on your own. There are things that are done in a group. Everyone did not even say it was wrong, me holding another man's manhood whom I was not even married to, a pastor. So it meant that I had traveled all this way to just touch his manhood, and from there I was told that my miracle was going to come. I was then given a small plastic cup, and he started urinating in that cup. Brother Nashi, I drank his urine, even though I drank the urine, but there were other women that were forcing themselves on me. They also wanted to drink that urine. They said that I was lucky. I was then told to leave Nigeria to return back to South Africa. I came back and I slept with my husband, but nothing even changed. And that was when I realized that I had been part of a Nigerian cult, and if I had stayed any longer, maybe he could have slept with me, because he kept on and on looking at me as he was preaching for the small group. Hey, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.